Philadelphia City Council's Committee on Public Property and Public Works. I now note that the time has come. Will the clerk please call the roll and take attendance? Members that are in attendance, will you please indicate that you are here by saying present when your name is called?
Madam Chair,
Present.
Vice Chair Squilla,
Present.
Councilmember Gaudier,
Present.
Councilmember Driscoll, Councilmember Harity, Councilmember Young.
I note for the record that a quorum of this committee is present and this hearing is now called to order. This is a public hearing on the Committee of Public Property and Public Works regarding bills number 250483, 250526, 250237, 250538. Will the clerk please read the titles of the bills on the agenda for today?
Bill number 250483, introduced by Councilmember Catherine Gilmer Richardson on behalf of Council President Kenyatta Johnson, titled an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to acquire fee simple title or a lesser real estate interest in and to all or a portion of the property bounded by Cobbs Creek, 75th Street Extended, Buies Avenue, and 78th Street, and owned by the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority, the Philadelphia Land Bank, or the Philadelphia Housing and Development Corporation, all under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 250526, introduced by Councilmember Catherine Gilmer Richardson on behalf of Councilwoman Lozada, entitled an ordinance renaming the Wissinoming Recreation Center to Margaret Tartaglione Recreation Center to honor the life and legacy of Margaret Marge Tartaglione, a pioneering public servant and leader in Philadelphia's politics. And Bill number 250537, introduced by Councilmember Bass, titled an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to acquire fee simple title or lesser real estate interest in and to all or a portion of the properties known as 4368, 4370, 4372, 4374 Germantown Avenue, all under certain terms and conditions. And lastly, Bill number 250538, introduced by Councilmember Bass, titled an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to acquire fee simple title or a lesser real estate interest in and to all or a portion of the properties known as 1911, 1913, 1915, 1917, 1919, 1921, 1923, 1925, and 1927 Cayuga Street, all under certain terms and conditions. Madam Chair, there's no other bills on the agenda today.
Thank you. I note for the record that testimony for bill number 250483 was given at last week's Public Property and Public Works hearing, and there will be no one here to testify on that again today. Will the clerk please call the first witness to testify on bill number 250526?
The witness to testify on this bill today is Susan Slauson, Commissioner of the Department of Parks and Recreation.
Good morning. Thank you for being with us today. Please state your name for the record and begin with your testimony.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here today. Good morning, Chair Lozada, Vice Chair Squilla, and members of the Committee of Public Property and Public Works. My name is Susan Slauson, Commissioner of Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, and I'm here to testify in the support of Bill number 250526, an ordinance renaming and designating the property commonly referred to as the Wissinoming Recreation Center, located at 5801 Frankfort Avenue, as the Margaret Tartaglione Recreation Center in the city of Philadelphia. Margaret, known as Marge Tartaglione, was born and raised in Philadelphia. Marge and her family lived in the Oxford Circle of Northeast Philadelphia. In the 1960s, she was recruited to serve as a committee person and was soon elected ward leader for the 62nd Ward. She was the first Democratic woman to be elected citywide and served nearly 4 decades in the Philadelphia City Commission's office, mostly as chairperson, the longest tenure of any commissioner since the office was formed in the 1850s. Marge Tartaglione oversaw Philadelphia city elections and is credited with hiring and maintaining an effective team of civil service workers, implementing computerized voting, and instituting the policy of sunshine meetings in which the city commissioners are required to discuss and vote on matters in public. Known for her raspy voice and sharp wit, Marge Tartaglione was regarded as a tough veteran ward leader who was not afraid to speak her mind. When a rival crossed her, she would clearly let them know while also opening doors for women in local politics. She mentored generations of political leaders, opened doors for women in public service, and remained a steadfast advocate for neighborhood-level concerns. From potholes to public safety, she always kept her promises. Marge Tartaglione made it a point to be of service to the citizens of Philadelphia. She should be honored and commemorated for her life of service, which is why I support renaming the Wissinoming Recreation Center to the Margaret Tartaglione Recreation Center. The Department of Parks and Recreation supports this measure. Accordingly, I respectfully request that the City Council approve Bill number 250526, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I'll begin by saying that I never had the privilege of meeting Miss Marge, but during my years in city government, I've heard from many people, specifically in the 7th Council District, but more so in the Wissinoming community, about the impact that she had, not just for her neighbors, but for her entire ward. Her family has been a family of service and a family that has always been in the political world. But more than just politics, I think that when you talk to community residents, they talk about the support and the resources that they've been able to connect people with. And so it is an honor for me to be able to put a resolution on the floor, or a bill on the floor, that would honor her name and her legacy and the contributions that she made to the Wissinoming community, as well as to the 7th Council District. So thank you so much for your support. I know that when I reached out to you to ask what is the process and how do we do this and could we even do this, you immediately said yes. So thank you so much for your guidance and your support on that.
Oh, thank you. She truly was a pioneer for women and for just service. So I'm grateful that we have this opportunity to even put this on the floor as well.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from members of the committee? No. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Will the clerk please call the next panel who's here to testify on behalf of this bill?
No further panels for this bill, Councilwoman.
Will the clerk please call the first witness to testify on bill number 250537?
The witness to testify on this bill today is Angel Rodriguez, Deputy Executive Director of Land for the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority.
Good morning.
Good morning, Council Chairperson. My name is Angel Rodriguez. I'm the Deputy Executive Director of the Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority. Good morning, Chairperson Lozada and members of the Public Property and Public Works Committee. I'm here to testify in favor of Bill 250537 and Bill 250538, which would authorize the Commissioner of Public Property to acquire land in the 8th Councilmanic District located on the 1900 block of Cayuga and the 4300 block of Cayuga of 4300 block of Germantown Avenue from the Redevelopment Authority. This bill has been in the works for over 2 years in collaboration with Councilmember Bass and the Nicetown community for the Nicetown Sports Courts to develop Phase 1, which is the west side of the development that has a sports court, which is basketball court, a soccer court, pickleball. Also, the water department will be installing a stormwater management system. This will position Nicetown to be ready for the FIFA World Cup activity here in the city of Philadelphia in preparation for 2026. I thank you for the opportunity to testify on behalf of these bills, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any questions from members of this committee? Will the clerk please call the next witness to testify on behalf of this bill?
No further testimonies for this bill, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the first panel to testify on bill number 250538?
My apologies, Councilwoman. The testimony for Angel Rodriguez applies to both 537 and 538.
Okay.
That'll be the end of testimonies today.
Okay. Seeing none, we will now transition to public comment. Will the clerk please call any members of the public present to comment on any of the bills being heard today?
There are no speakers on the public comment list today, Madam Chair.
Thank you. This concludes the hearing, and we will now go into public meeting to consider the actions to be taken on the bills before this committee today. Will the clerk please call the roll of attendance of members? Members that are present, please acknowledge that you are present when your name is called.
Madam Chair Lozada,
Present.
Vice Chair Squilla,
Present.
Councilmember Gaudier, Councilmember Driscoll, Councilmember Harity, Councilmember Young.
Thank you. I will note for the record that a quorum of this committee is present. The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion on bill number 250483.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that bill number 250483 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended as submit the first reading of this bill to the next session of council.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that bill number 250483 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. The chair recognizes Squilla for a motion on bill number 250526.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I offer an amendment to bill number 250526. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to bill number 250526 be adopted.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Councilmember Jamie Garcia seconds the motion. It has been moved and properly second that the amendment to bill number 250526 be approved. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the amendment to bill number 250526 has been approved. The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion on bill number 250526 as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that bill number 250526 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended as to permit the first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that bill number 250526 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion on bill number 250537.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I offer an amendment to bill number 250537. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to bill number 250537 be approved.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Councilmember Jamie Garcia seconds the motion. It has been moved and properly seconded that the amendment to bill number 250537 be approved. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the amendment to bill number 250537 has been approved. The chair recognizes Councilmember Mark Squilla for a motion on bill number 250537 as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that bill number 250537 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended as to permit the first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 250537, as amended, be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion on Bill number 250538.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I offer an amendment to Bill number 250538. A copy of that amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to Bill number 250538 be approved.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Councilmember Jamie Garcia seconded the motion. It has been moved and properly seconded that the amendment to Bill number 250538 be approved. All those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. And the amendment to Bill number 250538 has been approved. The chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion on Bill number 250538 as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Bill number 250538 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended as to permit the first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 250538 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. If there are no further questions from members of this committee or witnesses to testify, this concludes the business before the Committee on Public Property and Public Works. Thank you all for being with us today. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Great job.